Gulf War. Subscribe. Universal Tutor. The Gulf War, also known as the First Gulf War or the Persian Gulf War, was a conflict that took place in 1990-1991 between a coalition of countries led by the United States and Iraq, following Iraq's invasion and occupation of Kuwait. The war had significant international implications and arose from a complex mix of political, territorial, and economic factors. Here are the key details and events of the Gulf War. Background: Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, August 2, 1990. The conflict began when Iraq, led by President Saddam Hussein, invaded and occupied Kuwait, citing territorial and economic disputes. International response: the international community strongly condemned Iraq's actions and called for the immediate withdrawal of Iraqi forces from Kuwait. The United Nations Security Council passed a series of resolutions demanding Iraq's withdrawal and imposing economic sanctions. Course of the war: 3. Operation Desert Shield, August 1990 – January 1991. The United States and its coalition partners, including the United Kingdom, France, Saudi Arabia, and others, deployed troops and assets to the region in defense of Saudi Arabia. Operation Desert Shield. The coalition built up its forces in preparation for potential military action. Coalition Offensive, January 16 – February 28, 1991. The coalition launched Operation Desert Storm on January 16, 1991, with a massive air campaign against Iraqi targets. This was followed by a ground offensive on February 24, which quickly liberated Kuwait. Liberation of Kuwait. The coalition forces, equipped with advanced technology and superior firepower, overwhelmed the Iraqi military. Within a matter of days, they liberated Kuwait and pushed Iraqi forces out of the country. Ceasefire. February 28, 1991. A ceasefire was declared on February 28, 1991, following the liberation of Kuwait. The terms of the ceasefire included Iraq's acceptance of UN resolutions and a commitment to disarmament. Aftermath. 7. UN sanctions and monitoring. The ceasefire was followed by a series of United Nations resolutions, including UNSCR 687, which established conditions for the ceasefire, called for the elimination of Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, and established a system for monitoring Iraqi compliance. Humanitarian impact. The war and subsequent sanctions had a significant humanitarian impact on Iraq's population. Many Iraqis faced shortages of essential goods and suffered from economic hardship and health problems. Long-term consequences. The Gulf War had lasting consequences for the region. It set the stage for ongoing tensions in the Middle East, including the Iraq War of 2003 and the destabilization of the region. The Gulf War achieved its immediate goal of liberating Kuwait from Iraqi occupation. However, it did not lead to the removal of Saddam Hussein from power, and the long-term consequences of the conflict continued to shape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East for years to come. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.